Stranger Things just shattered everything we thought we knew about Will Byers. Volume 1 dropped nuclear bombs on the fanbase, and nobody saw the ending coming. Vecna's master plan is absolutely terrifying, and the hidden clues change everything we've been missing this whole time. Listen up, because Stranger Things Season 5. Volume 1 just broke the internet, and nobody is ready to talk about what actually went down in those 4 episodes. The ending is completely insane, and the theories flying around right now are wild. So Vecna finally showed his true face, and it turns out this monster has been playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. The guy stepped through that portal like he owns the place, which, honestly, he kinda does at this point. The military thought they were ready with their fancy weapons and sonic cannons, but Vecna walked in and absolutely destroyed them. This whole attack scene felt like watching a slasher film meet a war movie, and the result is pure chaos. But here's where things get absolutely bonkers. Vecna needs 12 kids. Not 1, not 2, but 12 specific children to complete his plan. He calls them vessels and explains that kids are easier to break and control than adults. This guy is literally building an army of mind-controlled, superpowered children, and that is horrifying beyond words. Holly Wheeler got snatched first, and she's trapped in this twisted memory world that Vecna created. Derek Turnbow was next on the list until Will and the gang tried saving him. Speaking of Will, we need to talk about that ending because holy hell. Will Byers just became the most powerful person in Hawkins, and nobody expected this. After spending 4 seasons getting tossed around by the Upside Down, after being the victim over and over again, Will finally unlocked abilities that rival 11 herself. When those Demogorgons were about to tear Mike, Lucas, and Robin apart, Will tapped into his connection with Vecna and absolutely destroyed those monsters. The scene was perfect. Will closed his eyes, his nose started bleeding just like 11, and he snapped the Demogorgon's limbs using his mind. 3 separate locations, 3 monsters, all dead in seconds. The camera cuts to Will raising his head with blood dripping from his nose, and this look of pure determination on his face. That moment right there is what 9 years of buildup looks like. Now let's break down why Will suddenly has powers, because this connects to everything. Back in Season 1, when Will got dragged into the Upside Down, Vecna didn't just kidnap him for fun. The opening flashback shows Will getting attacked by a Demogorgon, and then we see this disgusting tube thing attached to his mouth. That tube pumped Will full of Mind Flayer particles and basically infected him with upside-down energy. Vecna was experimenting on Will to see if he could transform normal kids into controllable vessels. The first shadow play revealed that when people visit Dimension X, their bodies physically change and they gain powers. Henry Creel got his abilities when he went into a cave in Nevada as a kid and got flayed by the Mind Flayer. The exact same thing happened to Will, except Vecna did it on purpose. Will spent days in the Upside Down getting transformed, and now all that exposure is finally manifesting as telekinetic abilities. Vecna accidentally created his own worst enemy. Robin figured it out earlier in the episodes when she called Will a supernatural radio receptor. Will can intercept the psychic frequencies that Vecna uses to control his monsters. He can see through Demogorgon eyes and feel when Vecna is targeting someone. But Will took it way further than anyone expected. He didn't just receive the signals, he hijacked the entire hive mind and turned Vecna's own powers against him. The emotional trigger for Will unlocking his powers is brilliant. Robin gave him this speech about embracing who you really are and not being scared anymore. Will spent years hiding parts of himself and feeling weak. Vecna literally called him weak and broken right before the attack. But when Will stopped running from who he is and embraced his identity, boom, the powers activated. He channeled happy memories of building Castle Byers with Mike instead of traumatic ones. He used love and friendship as his strength instead of fear, and that made all the difference. Now here's a detail most people missed. When Max is explaining her survival to Holly inside Vecna's mindscape, we see a memory of Hawkins High School in 1959. Young Joyce is handing out flyers for a play, and guess who was in that play? Henry Creel. This confirms that Joyce, Hopper, and Karen Wheeler all knew Vecna back when he was just a troubled teenager. They went to high school with their future greatest enemy and had no idea what he would become. That connection makes the final battle so much more personal and twisted. The cave that Max and Holly find represents the Nevada cave where young Henry first got his powers. Vecna is terrified to enter that cave, and now we know why. That location represents the moment his entire life went wrong. The trauma from Dimension X started there, and facing that place means confronting everything that turned him into a monster. Max figured out that the cave is Vecna's weakness, and she's using it as a hiding spot. Max has been stuck in Vecna's mental prison since the end of Season 4 when she fell into her coma. Her physical body is in the hospital, but her consciousness is trapped inside Vecna's memories. She managed to survive by running to that cave whenever Vecna came hunting. Now, she's teamed up with Holly to plan an escape, but they need more time. The whole situation with Max adds another layer because Lucas is watching her body deteriorate while her mind fights for survival in another dimension. And can we talk about Kaylee showing up again? 8 was that divisive character from Season 2 who most people thought would never return. Wrong. The military captured her and locked her in their secret facility deep inside the Upside Down. Hopper and 11 were expecting to find Vecna behind that giant steel door, but instead they found Kaylee hooked up to some machine. Dr. K has been using Kaylee's illusion powers for something, and that cannot be good. Kaylee's return sets up something major for the remaining episodes. She can create illusions that feel completely real to people. Combine that ability with 11's telekinesis and Will's new hive mind control, and you've got a superpowered team that might actually stand a chance against Vecna. The question is whether Kaylee will want to help after being imprisoned and experimented on by the military. The meat wall mystery is still unsolved, but we got more context. That circular wall of organic flesh surrounds Hawkins' lab at its exact center. Dustin calculated the dimensions, and everything points back to where the Mother Gate was originally opened. Vecna is building something behind that wall, and it's connected to his plan for the 12 children. Most theories suggest he's creating a permanent tunnel between Dimension X and Earth, a wormhole that would let his entire army invade our world permanently. Mr. Clark's chalkboard showed an Einstein-Rosen bridge diagram, which is science talk for a wormhole tunnel. The show keeps referencing A Wrinkle in Time, where characters use a tesseract to fold space and time. Derek even built a model tesseract in his room before getting targeted. Holly has been reading that book non-stop, and it's clearly foreshadowing what Vecna wants to accomplish. He's trying to collapse the barrier between dimensions and merge them into one horrific reality. The phone number on the missing person poster actually works if you call it. You get a recorded message from Hawkins Police Department talking about the earthquake and searching for Jane Hopper. That earthquake measured 7.4 on the Richter scale, which would absolutely devastate an unprepared town. This explains why Hawkins is under military lockdown and why everything feels like a disaster zone. Jonathan wearing the fall t-shirt while climbing the radio tower is either foreshadowing or the cruelest joke ever. They spent so much time showing how dangerous that climb is, and Jonathan is literally wearing a shirt that says "fall." Someone is definitely falling from that tower in the next episodes, and it's probably going to wreck us emotionally. Volume 1 ends with Will standing victorious after destroying the Demogorgons, but Vecna escaped with the children he came for. The military base is in ruins, innocent soldiers are dead, and the kids are now trapped in Dimension X attached to those spires. Will's painting showed 12 spires total, with 4 already occupied. Vecna needs 8 more children to complete his collection. The final battle is shaping up to be 11, Will, and possibly Kaylee versus Vecna and his army of transformed children. Love versus fear, light versus darkness. Everything the show has built toward for 9 years comes down to whether our heroes can break Vecna's control over those kids without killing them. The stakes have never been higher, and Volume 1 just proved that nobody is safe anymore.